Hey beauty bosses, welcome back to the Surrendered CEO. My name is Danielle, and today I want to talk to the entrepreneurs who are chasing money in their business. This message is for the woman who is tired. You are tired of chasing the money. You're tired of the sales being your source. I've been there, and God lovingly showed me my errors. There was a point in my business where I realized I wasn't seeing people as people anymore. I saw them as orders. I saw them as sales, as numbers in my Shopify dashboard. And it's bad to say, but y'all, it's the truth. Unfortunately, the more money I made, the more money I wanted. I became consumed with hitting my next sales goal. Y'all, I would check my Shopify dashboard like a crazy person every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. I was basically obsessed with making money. And honestly, the truth is, I was relying on me to make everything happen. But what I realized is God didn't call me to chase money. He called me to serve, to be a good steward, and to trust Him over everything else. So when that conviction hit, I had to make a choice, and you will too. One of the things I had to stop doing is I had to stop running all these back-to-back sales, trying to hit a sales number. I had to stop obsessing over what my daily revenue goal was, and I had to stop believing that more sales meant more success. Because the truth is, you can make sales and not make a dime. You can also make sales and be miserable. I didn't want either. Instead, I started asking myself questions like, am I profitable? Am I being a good steward over the things that God has given me? And lastly, am I building a business that aligns with God? Or am I building a business that's just based off everything I want? And asking myself those questions and making that choice, I became a better steward over the time that God gave me. I focused on profit and not just making sales. I got intentional, very intentional about where I spent my time and the things that I focused on. And most importantly, if you take anything away from this video, the most important thing I did was I gave my business back to God. One of the things I did is I started serving my customers. I began to build a connection with them and find out how I can bring value to them and not just get something from them. Another thing that I did is I showed up honestly, not perfectly. All right, there's a difference, and it requires us to be vulnerable. It requires surrender, and it requires us to be humble. I started sharing my struggles and my wins because I realized what I was going through and what I was learning, it could help somebody else. It could encourage somebody else. I let go of the image of what I thought I had to be, and I just started focusing on who God created me to be. I began to put in systems and processes that gave me peace and it gave me clarity. Y'all, I had things all over the place, and so since I decided, hey, I'm not going to be focused on all these sales, I'm going to focus on how I can improve. And little by little, I started building amazing systems and processes within my company to build a better overall experience for my customers. It brought me peace, and I got very, very clear about what I was doing. I undid a lot of things in my business that no longer aligned with the life that God was calling me to live. And again, that had a lot to do with do not focus on chasing money. I know somebody's wondering, how long did all this take? Y'all, this was a process. This was not an overnight thing. I know everybody wants a do this, do that, 1, 2, 3, and you'll be there. No, this was a process, a daily process of refining. Even now, I have to continually surrender different pieces of my business to the Lord because I can feel myself slipping back into old habits, and I'm like, no. I'm not going back there, and I have to renew my mind and get back on course, even to this day. And every time I give it back to the Lord, y'all, I release control and I receive peace. And it's beautiful. A lot of this stuff, nobody is teaching you in a book. They're teaching you to hustle. They're teaching you to do this and do that so you can make millions. And I'm sorry, that strategy may work for some people, but it don't work for me because I was stressed to the max, not spending no time with my family or my husband. It was causing marriage problems. I wasn't present for anybody. Y'all, it was a disaster. And so that's why I'm on here. I'm trying to share about what it means to be a surrendered business owner. You still have strategy. You are very intentional, but you pray. You invite the Lord in. You do things to glorify God, not to please yourself. You make decisions in your business that's going to honor God, that's made with integrity, that's made with others first, not selfish. That's not selfish decisions on how can you please yourself, how can you get more, but how can this honor God? How can my business build the kingdom? So if you've been chasing money in your business, I don't want this to come off as judgment, because Lord knows I've been there. I was there for a long time and it was stressful. Instead, I hope you take this as a gentle reminder that God is your provider, not your products, not your business. Only God is our provider. All this other stuff is a resource and we should use it as such, but God is our source. I want to close this out by letting y'all know you don't have to hustle to be blessed. You don't have to run yourself ragged to make a profit. And lastly, you were not meant to figure out your business alone. God doesn't want that for us. He wants to help us. He wants to be in the middle of it. So I'll close by just saying I hope this encourages somebody. I hope that it helps you put Christ at the center of not just your business, but your life. It makes a big, big difference, y'all. And if this video did encourage y'all, then please like, please subscribe, please share it with a friend who you think it would help. And I will see y'all in the next video. I love y'all.